What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. This is a Monday edition, right? And I am actually this is part two of crucial things to know when starting a business, right? Part two. I put out a few. I wanted to add a few more things to this topic, and that's why I'm adding like this is part two. So yeah. Now first thing I'm going to say about like the thing crucial things you should know when you start a business is like people always want to know like do you need money when you're starting a business, right? And depending on what type of business you want to start, you really like when I started out, I started a carpet cleaning business, and I didn't really need any money, like a big sum of money. With the carpet cleaning business, I bought like the materials, like far as solutions that I needed. I bought those. That wasn't a lot of money to buy the chemicals and stuff that I needed. Now I didn't have enough money to buy the carpet cleaning machines, but what I did was I used to rent them from a janitorial supply store that was close to my area. So a lot of times you can find ways to get into business without really spending a lot of money. And so in my opinion, I don't think you really need a lot of money to start a business. And sometimes depending on what type of business you're starting, you don't really need any money. You just have to be willing to get out there and work hard. Like if you wanted to start a landscaping business, right? For the most part, most people already have like lawnmowers and rakes and lawn equipment at their house. So that means that you all you need to do now is just to go out there and just tell people what you do so you can start a business. So most of the time, and I know there are some like I'm giving you this information from a blue collar perspective, right? But there are also some jobs that or businesses that you can start online where you don't need money, right? And so, don't let the fact that you don't have money, don't let that slow you up. Don't let that hold you back. I have sometimes money really can be like it can be a downside, right? Because I have started businesses where as though I had enough money, more than enough money to fund it, and the business didn't even go well. I spent like tens of thousands of dollars on a business, and the business didn't take off the way I thought it should. And I wound up just spending money that I didn't really need to. And so when even I even had people advise me like, don't invest all that money. Get to learn the business. Start out small. And while you're starting out small, you're learning the business. And don't invest in all this different equipment and stuff like that. So I wouldn't. You don't necessarily need a lot of money to start a business. So to me, I think that's true. The next thing I want to talk about, like when you have a business, like people should free up your time. And so when I started my first business was a cleaning service, right? And I grew my cleaning service from just myself to I think about like 10 to 12 employees. And what happened was once I started bringing people in to actually do the work, I was able to focus on like advertising and just quality control type things in order to grow the business. So if you can if you bring people onto your to your job or to your company, then you need to be able to use that labor the right way and make sure that you are focusing on bringing in more sales, more businesses, and also managing the business the way it should be managed. So that's very important. It don't do you no good to have 12 employees and you working side by side with them. That's not something that you want to be doing. You get employees, you assign them a task, and while they're taking care of the task that you assign them, you need to be focused on something else that will also help your business to grow. So definitely, your people should free your time up for you to do different things. The next thing I want to talk about is adapting quickly, right? In business, problems come up, and then so you have to be you have to be willing and ready to just adapt very quickly and change directions on a drop of a dime, because if you get stuck on one problem for too long, that'll be a waste of time. You could potentially lose clients, and it's just not, it's just not productive. It's from a productive standpoint, it's not good. So you definitely need to be in business, be able to adapt quickly so you can keep moving forward. That's one thing I learned. It's very important to be able to adapt quickly so you can move forward. Let me see. The next thing I want to talk about is finding a mentor, right? Mentors are very important because mentors can save you a lot of time and keep you from making some mistakes. You want to leverage the experience and the knowledge that mentors have. Again, when I first started my first cleaning business, I got introduced to another guy who had his own cleaning business, but his cleaning business was really big. This guy was making millions of dollars a year with his cleaning business, and I learned a lot from him. And as a matter of fact, this was like 20 years ago, and we're still friends to this day, right? And like I said, as a mentor, this guy has really, just really taught me a lot about the business, not just about the cleaning business, but about business in general. So it's important to have a mentor. And if you don't have a mentor or have access to somebody who have more experience than you, then you can always like do research. You can always there are always books that you can read. Or nowadays, people go online and you can find out just about anybody who is like in the same profession or doing the same kind of work that you're doing. You can find it out. You definitely, like I said, if you don't have like access to somebody who's a mentor at first, because the thing about mentors, a mentor is not going to, they're not going to really waste their time with you if you're not, you're not at a certain stage. If you're not a person who they can see like putting in the work, then a mentor is not really going to be bothered with you because they're busy. So you got to have more than just potential. You got to be like, let them know that you're in the game and you're eager to learn. So, mentors are very important in any business, any industry. It's good to have a mentor. And like I said, I definitely recommend that you seek out a mentor and you just do some research, read up on different people that that are in the same profession that you're in. A crucial thing about business is don't take shortcuts, man. Do not take shortcuts. There are steps and there are steps and there are processes to different things, and you definitely don't want to take shortcuts, especially in the beginning. Like when you're first starting out, you can't take shortcuts because you don't know how those shortcuts are going to affect your business. You don't know how those shortcuts are going to affect like the quality of your work, and you don't want to take a shortcut and that shortcut costs you like a client, or you don't want to take a shortcut and that shortcut costs you extra money or extra time. It's best, man. And before I even started my first business, my mother always used to tell me, if you're going to do something, do it right. And she's not an entrepreneur, and she was never an entrepreneur, right? And that piece of advice right there served me well. Like, if you're going to do it, make sure you do it right. Do not take shortcuts. And I've been in business for myself for over 20 years, and I'm still learning, and anytime that I have tried to take a shortcut, it never fails. It always comes back to bite you. Like that very step that you skip will be the step that come back and bite you in the long run. So don't do it. I recommend you don't do it. It's going to cost you money and it's going to cost you time, and it may even cost you, your client. So definitely don't do it. But those are some of the crucial things I think that people should think about, when they're starting a business, man. And I'm just giving you this information, like I said, from my perspective, which is a blue collar perspective. And I hope that that you find that this information is helpful to you. And with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, on and let me know what you think about the information that I just put out there. If you have any questions, also, you can leave those at the bottom too. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.